In the deep mountains of Shinano, nestled in an old wooden house, lived a large black cat named Kuro. For 12 years he was a part of the household, a sleek, bulky creature with a long, elegant tail. For the first decade, Kuro's life was one of warmth and comfort. But after the old mistress passed away, everything changed. The master, once kind, became irritable and cruel. He blamed Kuro for every misfortune, from mice in the granary to his own bad dreams. He would starve the cat, beat it with a bamboo broom, and banish it from the warmth of the kitchen. Kuro's world had turned cold and unforgiving. One night, in the 12th winter, under the gaze of a full moon, something truly bizarre happened. Kuro was curled up beneath the freezing eaves, shivering, his stomach hollow with hunger. Suddenly, he felt a surge of cold, bitter power rise from deep within his body, a chilling energy that concentrated in his tail. Just then, the master walked by and delivered a vicious kick to his side. "Accursed creature," he muttered, his voice dripping with contempt. The pain, combined with years of accumulated resentment, finally pushed Kuro over the edge. In that instant, his long tail began to twitch violently. In the faint moonlight, the tail stretched, cracked, and then slowly, unnervously, it split into two at the tip, like a macabre branch growing from its trunk. Kuro's once warm golden eyes now glowed with a fierce, cold blue light. This was no longer the gaze of a simple house cat. He had transformed. He had become a Neko-mata. Kuro stood upright on his hind legs, his once graceful form now twisted into something strange and menacing. He slinked into the shadows, a newfound demonic power coursing through him. This was the beginning of his retribution. The first thing the Neko-mata learned was how to speak. It practiced a human voice, starting by mimicking the sweet, sorrowful tone of the master's deceased wife, a sound designed to cut deep. Then it learned to shapeshift. Its large feline form would draw too much attention, so it began to transform itself into an elderly woman with silver hair, clad in a simple gray kimono. It introduced itself as Otami, a distant relative who had come to care for the aging master. The master, blinded by his own old age and greed, didn't suspect a thing. He rejoiced at the thought of a free servant, never noticing the magical forked tail hidden beneath the woman's cloak. He welcomed Otami into his home, oblivious that he had just invited his own demise. The game of vengeance had begun. Every night, after the master was sound asleep, the Neko-mata, in its guise as Otami, would begin its chilling ritual. It would sneak outside, climb onto the roof, and begin an eerie dance. Waving its glowing twin tails through the night air, it would conjure balls of blue and purple ghost fire, the Nekobi. This spectral fire didn't burn the house, but it hovered ominously, attracting wandering spirits and lingering grudges from the surrounding area, calling them to this place of sorrow. But its most terrifying power was the ability to control the dead. The Neko-mata used its magical fire to touch the graves of those who had suffered due to the master's cruelty. One night, it summoned the very person whose memory haunted the house, the master's old wife, whom he had mistreated grievously in her final years. From its perch on the roof, the Neko-mata, as Otami, would command the reanimated corpse. Under the pale moonlight, the wife's body would walk through the garden, its cold form dancing grotesquely, dragging itself in a savage, chilling display. All night long, it would create terrifying knocking sounds against the walls and doors of the house. The Neko-mata's goal wasn't a quick death. It was a slow, agonizing descent into madness. The master believed he was cursed, haunted by the ghost of his wife. He started drinking heavily, trying to drown the fear and the relentless knocking that always found its way back into his nightmares. His health and sanity rapidly declined. All the while, the Neko-mata continued to play the part of the gentle, caring Otami. It served him meals tainted with its dark magic, silently draining his life force with cold smiles and feigned concern. The master was withering away, a puppet in a cruel play directed by the very creature he had wronged. Weeks passed, and the master was reduced to a shell of a man, emaciated, paranoid, and nearly insane. One evening, as he watched Otami clear the dinner table, he saw something that made his blood run cold. In a brief moment of horrifying clarity, he noticed the way Otami licked her lips after the meal. It was exactly how a cat washes its face. In a final, desperate frenzy, he lunged at the old woman. In that moment, the Neko-mata's human mask dissolved. Before him stood not Otami, but a huge, repulsive creature with glowing blue eyes and two tails whipping through the air, wreathed in ghostly fire. The Neko-mata snarled, its voice a deep, raspy growl that echoed with years of pain. "You killed my kindness," it hissed. "Now I will take your breath." It clawed and savaged the master, not with the intent to kill quickly but to overwhelm him. He collapsed, dead from sheer exhaustion and terror. Afterward, the creature consumed a portion of his body, finally satiating its years of hunger and deep-seated resentment. The next morning, villagers discovered the half-burned house and a human skeleton, terribly mauled. The only clue was a set of massive cat tracks leading away into the forest. From that day on, the tale of the Neko-mata became a chilling warning, a story passed down through generations to remind everyone. Never, ever mistreat a cat. For that small creature purring by your hearth may be a soul accumulating grudges, just waiting for the day its second tail sprouts to turn you into its puppet. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this dive into Japanese folklore, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales from the shadows. We'll see you in the next one.